What's up, St. Louis? It's Luke Farrell, co-host and founder of the STL Bucket List Show. We've been putting this show out for the last 75 weeks straight, and we're going to continue that and highlight the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special. The STL Bucket List Show is proudly presented by the Regional Arts Commission of St. Louis. The Regional Arts Commission is the largest public funder of arts and art programming right here in the city of St. Louis. They believe that every artist, organization, and generation in our region believe that life is better when art is around us too. And we happen to believe the same thing. They also just launched an amazing website called stlouisarts.org that highlights public art, live music, and all things art in St. Louis.
If you want to hear about St. Louis, tune into the Bucket List Show weekly. Hear what Marissa and Luke say. It drops every Wednesday. Got a dope new guest every single week. Buckle up for the ride. Who's it gonna be? Who's on the show today? They rep St. Louis. What to do in the loo on a late night, or maybe what to do on a date night. Yeah, Bucket List has you covered. They know what's going on. What's going on, they'll give you, hey, 18 different things to do, or 19 if you need one more to choose. Yeah, the city is a place we call home. A place we call home, yeah.
What's up, St. Louis? Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 76 of the STL Bucket List Show. I'm your host, Marissa Farrell.
And I am your other host, Luke Farrell. And we couldn't do this show without our friends over at the Regional Arts Commission, but also our new friends at the Wine and Cheese Place. They got 5 locations in St. Louis, and we got a lot of their products. We even got to give our guest one tonight, too, a little whiskey.
Hook it up.
Yes. But guys, for real, though, thank you for listening to the show. Our core mission is to highlight the people, places, and events that make St. Louis special. And to do that, you have to be consistent. So episode 76 is a big deal for us. And we're on our way to 100. So we'll see you guys at 100
that'll
episodes.
come so fast. So
go ahead. You do the honors, babe.
We always do this. I don't know why. But speaking of highlighting events and people, we've got a special guest. We've got Charli Cooksey, CEO, correct?
Founder.
Of WEPOWER Weekend. Thank you for coming on that show today.
And we're outside today too. So,
I like
outside.
That.
We outside.
We outside.
That's the episode
Not
name.
we.
I already. We. Oh yeah,
We.
absolutely. We outside.
Love it.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here and talk all about your mission, your organization, what to expect from WEPOWER Weekend. So before we get into the fun part and what we're really here for, we like to always get to know our guests. So if you want to just shed light on your upbringing. Are you from St. Louis? We were talking about that earlier, if we were from, but tell us about yourself.
Yeah, sure. Well, one, congratulations on episode 76, and congrats in advance on episode 100
Thank
and
you.
beyond.
Yeah.
100 plus.
Thanks.
But also, thanks for having me today.
Absolutely.
It was so exciting to get greeted with a bottle of whiskey.
Wine
But anyway,
cheese,
I'm a
please.
St. Louis native. I was born and raised, and lived until a year ago in North St. Louis City. I'm 36, so first 35 years of my life, I lived on the same block, same street, and stayed there. My mom and my aunt owned a 2-family flat, and so I always had the pleasure of living with my mom, but also next door to my aunt, and they realized that we had outgrown that 2-family flat, and so they had looked for over a year everywhere they could to find a new house, because they have been co-parenting my little cousin, who is really like my brother, and so we always had to live side by side. And then at the very end of their search, they were like, there's a house across the street, it's vacant, we could just rehab it. So we literally moved from one side of the street to the other side of the street, same block, and now I'm excited to be a first-time homeowner in South City. So first time stepping out of my hood into a new hood, and it's quite the journey.
So you're South City now?
How's it treating
a
you?
year and a half. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. I have the pleasure of being a block away from Tower Grove Park. And honestly, there's nothing like your home neighborhood, your home base. I think that North St. Louis City gets such a bad rep, but there's like this organic sense of community. It could be a random person walking down the street and like we greet each other.
Yeah.
And so I don't honestly get that same sense of community over there. But I love having a house of my own, decorating it, and creating a space for me to learn, grow, and step into like womanhood and adulthood even more. So Yeah.
That's amazing.
Have
We're
you
South
been
City people,
enjoying
too.
Tower Grove Park at all?
Oh yeah. Well, I walk a lot. Like I am an extremist, so I will go from like not walking to walking like 15 to 20,000 steps a day.
Right.
And so it's been so hot that I haven't been walking. But when the weather permits, I will walk every inch of Tower Grove and beyond.
I'll probably see you over there. I've been
Yeah.
walking a lot too, and like
Yeah, we live right by the park.
we're
okay.
right by the park, Tower Grove
Okay.
Park as well. So
I
like,
want to say the street and ask, but I'm not going to do that.
I
Yeah,
know
not
we'll
on the
do that.
pod.
That's what I was
We'll do
gonna say.
that
We'll
after.
talk after just to see how close we are.
Yeah.
But I do. We love Tower Grove Park, and like we do the food truck Fridays. If you once it cools down a little bit, hit that up, but try and get early because then the lines get like ridiculously long. But it's just why am I blanking? What else? Oh, the farmers market. Hello, like that's
Yeah,
always
farmers
fun.
market.
Yeah.
Tuesday is the key to go. Saturday mornings are
Oh,
great
really?
too.
They
But
have farmers markets on Tuesdays?
Yeah, it's less busy. It's way
Interesting.
better
if you're
to
not
shop.
doing anything after this, you should go and pick up whatever you know.
Oh yeah,
you
we
need
are
for
recording
dinner.
this
So,
Tuesday. So Charlie,
Oh, it's Tuesday.
I want to talk a little bit more about kind of what you did before starting WePower. We're going to talk all about WePower.
Yeah.
It's WePower month right now.
Yeah.
So, you know,
We outside.
yeah, we outside all month. And, but I want to talk a little bit more about where you grew up. So a lot of stuff you do is in Hyde Park. Is that where you grew up at, or is that?
I was born and raised across the street from Fairground Park, so it's like one park away from Hyde Park, but a similar area. And we are focused on trying to have as much impact as possible in North St. Louis City, including Hyde Park, but our work also is regional facing as well.
Yeah, that's amazing because I see a lot going on in Hyde Park. They got a farmer's market out there now. They got a lot of businesses going up there.
Yeah.
What's the guy, Mike from Dream Builders?
Dream Builders
He's doing a
directly.
ton of work out there, which is great. So after, let's just say like adulthood, like what other jobs did you work? I kind of want to see what led you to what you're doing now because
Yeah.
that's what's interesting to me right now.
So I'll backtrack a little before I became an adult and how that led to what I'm doing as an adult. So I really describe my journey as navigating the tale of two cities within a single St. Louis. So born and raised and lived in North St. Louis my whole life, but also lived, honestly, a life of extreme privilege and access. So grew up being classically trained in ballet and playing tennis. And so almost every day of my childhood and adulthood, I was navigating two worlds within a single day. So I would wake up and fall asleep in North St. Louis City, but spend a lot of my time in places like West County, Frontenac, Town and Country, and just had to get reminded of how much disparity there was and like live in that truth, but also not really have many people to like wrestle with that with because so many folks were living either in affluence or in poverty. And I was like feeling stuck like, oh my gosh, does this side of town realize how much resources exist on that side of town? Does this side of town realize how little resources? And so ever since I was a little girl, it became clear to me that my role and purpose was to like address these disparities and create a St. Louis that was a place for everyone to thrive everywhere in every part of St. Louis. So at first I thought that meant I would be a civil rights attorney, and I've always been into hip hop. So at one point I was like, I'm gonna create this institute called Hip Hop Political that fuses hip hop with politics. But fast forward, went to college at HBCU outside of Houston, Texas, and got really, really immersed in electoral justice work and fighting for voting rights of students, and got a call from a program called Teach for America. And 15 minutes into the call, I said, okay, I'll pause law school for 2 years, then get back to law school. But lo and behold, I have not been to law school, and that was 2009 is 2023. Yeah, I haven't been to law school. I have no plans to go to law school. So ran for school board in undergrad, did a lot of work, activism in undergrad, and then came back here after college to teach. And during my second year in the classroom, connected with 3 other teachers, and we co-founded an education organization called Inspire STL. And so ran that full time for, I don't remember honestly if it was 4 or 6 years.
Is it still going?
No, it's not. But
Just curious.
yeah, so we supported a few hundred scholars per year from middle school through college completion. So it was the most amazing journey, and we had a lot of success, and our scholars are thriving. They're adults now. It's crazy. They're like 26,
Right.
25.
Like our age.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We're
You all could have
27,
been my
almost
students.
28. Yeah.
This is crazy. But they're all over. They're in Dallas here. Some are like in med school. Some are engineers. Some are educators. Some are entrepreneurs. But the first high school graduating class of that organization graduated the same summer that Michael Brown was murdered. And so they were the same age. Majority of our scholars are Black. And so for me and the rest of the world, really, it made me question, like, what does it mean for these group of amazing and brilliant young people to get access to great education if they can't even live past high school graduation to realize their fullest potential? And so between Michael Brown's murder and the Ferguson uprising and seeing the way that Black power was suppressed at night on the streets of Ferguson, and then being in boardrooms by day and surrounded, frankly, by a lot of wealthier old white men, I saw like a lot of what young people and their families in places like North St. Louis navigate go back to power or lack of power or the suppression of power. And so started to think about what was next and had an amazing opportunity to serve as the interim executive director of Ford through Ferguson. So was on that team with that amazing board and leaders, and worked with them and our partners to think about what is a strategic plan that we can implement together as a region to really achieve a St. Louis that is racially equitable. So started an education nonprofit that I ran, then transitioned to another social startup, Ford through Ferguson, served on the school board for St. Louis Public Schools for one term, and lots of eating good food and traveling in between there. And then started WEPOWER in spring of 2018.
Wow. We just had Forward through Ferguson on 2 weeks ago,
2
I
episodes
think.
ago.
Yeah.
So it came out,
Yeah.
it was Jollian.
Yeah, so this is
Jollian.
cool
She's the communications
to
director.
spin off
Yeah,
and,
this is perfect.
and have you on.
That's amazing. So first of all, you've done so much, and you're so young still. You know,
You are exuding excellence for sure.
So you mentioned WePower 2018, and this is the second annual one coming up. So did you take a small hiatus during the
last year we founded WePower in 2018,
Okay.
but we just had our first WePower weekend.
22.
Last summer.
WePower Weekend.
Yeah.
And WePower.
So WePower is the organization, and then WePower Weekend is our signature. Some of my team just told me I had to say signature.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to listen.
Whoa.
I think I'm a boss at listen. So WePower Weekend is a 3-day experience to celebrate the WePower community and the WePower as an organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read just so people can hear about WePower. Like, I'm assuming this is your mission statement, right? So WePower envisions a future where systems are accountable to powerful communities that have been historically oppressed and nurture our freedom, well-being, dreams, and joy.
That was poetic. Thank you.
And first of all, I'm a branding guy, and your branding is on fire.
You think so?
Oh yeah, it's so sick. It's so
That
sick.
means a lot.
It's so sick.
Thank
It's so sick.
you.
Like even just this font choice of just
Bold.
how bold it is, like that shirt.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what organization's for, it's a dope shirt. Like
Thank
you know how
you.
shirts are just dope
Well, shout
just
out
to
to
be
Powerful.
dope.
Profil.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris over at
Profil
Profil.
designed this T-shirt. New collab that just got announced.
Today
sort
on
of
the
today.
first. Yeah, no, that's amazing, and we got our hands on it. But no, I think that your guys' marketing's great. The bold yellow, the bold black. So she read the mission. Tell us what that mission means to you
Right.
and how you guys actually
Implement
that mission.
Yeah. What do all those words mean?
Yeah.
So for me, we at WePower believe that power is a human right, and that every family, regardless of race, zip code, socioeconomic status, should have the power to live a life of quality. And so a lot of times power gets radicalized and it's like this evil thing, but at its most basic definition, power is simply the ability to act or the ability to do something. And so we believe that every family should have the ability to access a great education. Every family should have the ability to live in a safe and thriving neighborhood. And when we think about WePower, we see there being a few ways to activate communities to build power, to wield power, and then for the wielding of power to lead to a better St. Louis. So one strategy is that we're constantly recruiting, building community with, and training everyday people on how to run for office, how to design policies, how to advocate for policy change, and then we support them as they actually go out and do that policy advocacy and change. And then our other strategy is not only do we need to build political power and change policies and laws, we also need to build economic resources and wealth to fuel our efforts to create a better St. Louis. So that second strategy is about entrepreneurship. How do we identify and support the next generation of thriving businesses and business leaders who can create economic opportunities in St. Louis, but also become civically involved and work alongside these future public leaders to push for a better St. Louis.
Wow, I love that. And that all blends together for this big weekend.
Yes.
Every year,
perfect segue.
starting last year,
Yep.
this weekend's going to be even bigger.
All the resources.
So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the event, and then you just let us know what people can expect, how
Sure.
can they get involved. So August 18th, we're starting off at the garden party. Okay.
Which is a Friday.
The garden
The
party.
signature garden party.
Hashtag imagine if.
Are you kidding me? I love that.
Oh, you all really flow.
Yeah, well, we're married, so.
I feel like that sometimes.
And then Saturday, you guys are going to be at Hyde Park. And then Sunday, you're going to have
Be back at Hyde Park.
for a self-care Sunday. So tell people what they can expect.
Yeah.
This
Day,
episode
talk
comes
through.
out, it's August 8th today, so it's
Yeah.
10 days away.
Yeah.
Realistically, we're thinking in
Wow.
the future.
Yeah.
So tell us about the event. Tell us how we can get involved, how people can show
Yeah.
up and show out.
Yeah, so to me, WePower Weekend, it's an experience. The most important thing about the weekend is that it's about grounding ourselves and rooting ourselves in joy and in community. And so it's a place for us to bring together all the folks who are currently part of the WePower community. That means former entrepreneurs we've supported, alumni of our leadership programs, folks part of our advocacy campaigns, but also to hold space for new people to join. So we hope that you all can make it, and we come together to like look back and celebrate on all the things that have been accomplished, but also to be honest about like what are the current challenges and problems that we have to confront as a region, and then invite folks to get involved, but in a very celebratory, fun way. So the garden party is all about putting in your best wear, your garden flower themed attire, and we have 3 DJs showing up. So each DJ will be playing a set themed, different themes for different hours. We'll have tons of activations and experiences. We'll be releasing a documentary that was produced by directed and created by a local creative named Naira Williams, and giving out really cool swag, food, drinks. And so last year, everyone I talked to who's in our age demographic left saying like, oh my gosh, I felt like I was on the set or a scene of Insecure. And I didn't even think about that. I don't think the team was like, let's create an episode of Insecure, but that was the vibe that folks got from that Friday. And then Saturday is really about bringing out the whole family and having a space for children to have fun and even learn about ways that children can start to build financial wealth and health. And so there's children's books we'll be giving away. We'll have book readings, play opportunities, field games, but we will also be having a vendor marketplace so that Black and Latinx businesses are available for us to shop at. And then we'll be having lots of free things, free business advising for entrepreneurs, free financial coaching and advising for families. So it really is about building wealth and community, but also let's have fun and enjoy entertainment. And then Sunday, I think is the most unexpectedly special day because you would think everyone's drained after the party and the being out in the sun at the community wealth building day, but Sunday is where hundreds of folks come together, do yoga in Hyde Park, which is unheard of, and engage in some good food, music, and mimosas this year. And so it's a way to decompress, inhale, exhale, and get ready for the week. And Beyonce's there on Monday, so some people have been joking and saying it's the pregame to Beyonce.
There you go.
A
I
little
like
3-day
the way to-
pregame
yeah,
leading
good way
into
to
that
think of it.
Monday night concert.
Who's leading the yoga? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so Collective STL.
Okay. Awesome.
One of our great partners.
So then how do people get tickets to the event? And are some days free or some ticketed?
Yeah, great question. So Friday is $50 to get access, but you get tons of things for those $50. You get food, you get drinks, you get activations and experiences, you get some swag, you get a chance to just be around beautiful people who are celebrating and dancing and in community. And then Saturday and Sunday are both free and open completely to the public. And you can RSVP at our website. If you go to wepowerstl.org, the first thing you will see is a link to RSVP. And then when you RSVP, you can purchase a really cool t-shirt like the one I have on, the collab with Profield, and you can donate, so you can do whatever suits you, but we really hope that folks come out and have a good time.
I hope so too.
I
This
know.
sounds amazing. We have some time in here that we
Oh,
can
we,
like
we will
definitely
definitely
come through
pop
and
out.
it just sounds like such a beautiful way to pull the community together. Whether if it's you're going to the free day or you're donating or you're going to the garden party, it's like there's a little taste of everything. Or Sunday, you know, namaste and mimosas. Like, what's better than that?
Oh, that sounds good.
I mean, that's just
Namaste
that's
and
like my
mimosas.
speed, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
So,
big yoga.
big yoga girl, but it's just a great way. And then something that came to my mind, so you were talking about just having, you know, black and brown vendors. Are those spots all filled? Like, is there a way other I
they're
would
all
assume
filled.
at this
And we'll
point.
announce the vendor soon, but it will be lots of great shopping and a nice mix of products and services that you can engage in at the Community Wealth Building Day on Saturday.
I love what you're doing, and I think the hashtag Imagine If, I love that too, because imagine if I try to do that. Imagine if I get help for this. And I think as an entrepreneur myself, the biggest thing is seeing people that look like you doing things that you want to do. And a big quote that we always say on the episodes is, if not us, then who?
Yes.
If not now, then when?
Yes.
So it's really pretty simple quote, but it really means like, if it's not us, then who's going to do it?
Yes.
So what you guys are doing is you don't even really see the impact. It's really hard to see it on a micro scale in those 3 days. But after those 3 days, you get those success stories.
Yeah.
And similar to your previous thing at Inspire STL, you get to see those,
Yeah.
even if it's 10 people or 50 people, and then it's gonna be 100 people. Then it's just so yeah, imagine if I like the hashtag We Outside for the episode name, but I also like hashtag Imagine If.
Well, I can always come back. No.
Do another
But,
one.
Well, we're hashtag We Inside right now,
Yeah,
recording this, but
Yeah.
no, I love that. I just wanted to say that's awesome.
Thank you.
I think that, and I really mean it about your guys' branding. You guys do a really great job of
Thank you.
captivating
That really
people.
means a lot because it is so stressful because we actually we're a unique organization to fuse entrepreneurship with like advocacy and policy change. So it's always hard to explain what we do and to me to visualize it. But we have really great partners that lead our marketing, and we're constantly learning and growing.
Yeah, it is hard to like want that line because you're like, I want to be super cool and have this awesome event, but you're also like, I want to be super serious and make these changes.
Purposeful.
But you have to kind of blend it together in a unique way. And I think a lot of nonprofits in St. Louis are doing a really good job. Our city in a whole is like these nonprofits are on fire right now, and they're growing, especially with what you guys are doing. So
I've got 3 questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry,
Go ahead. Go on.
So, in terms of raising money and funds for your organization, because that's how we help nonprofits, guys, is giving back. What's our goal? What's the goal?
Yeah.
The we goal.
So the we goal, I like that. The we goal is to raise $140,000 over the next several weeks to support our ability to live out our mission, to make sure that more Black and brown entrepreneurs have access to capital, to support, to coaching, to make sure that really amazing leaders, particularly women, have access to trainings, to support, to resources, to pushing for policy change, to preparing to run for elected office. And so if and when we can raise that 140, it will be such an honor because it allows us to continue to grow and sustain the work that we do with and for community.
Great. All right. And so you can buy a ticket. You guys can donate online. There's a variety of ways. The other question I had is, how can people get involved in your organization?
Yeah.
Besides the weekend, how can
Well,
people...
I want to tie it to the weekend because one of the coolest stories actually is a result of WePower Weekend. So we have the amazing Paula. And Paula, I don't think she was even familiar with WePower until she came out to last year's first ever WePower Weekend. And so she came out to the garden party. She came out to the Community Wealth Building Day. And because of that weekend, it was about joy and celebration. But also, like you said, it's also about like we have to take action. We have to party. We have to celebrate. We have to pause and like engage in self-care and yoga and mimosas and brunch. But we also have to like commit to action and collective action, and doing so in a way that really pushes towards transformation. So as a result of Paula getting introduced to WePower through WePower Weekend, she joined our early childhood campaign and was a leader in that campaign. And as part of that campaign, we won over $7 million for the childcare community, which will support about 1,500 educators stay in the classroom over the next 3 years, which is huge.
That's
so
huge.
She went from WePower Weekend to being a leader in our early childhood advocacy campaign to then completing one of our leadership programs for women who want to pursue public office. And now she's on our team full time.
Wow.
And so there's so many ways you can always get involved, and you can really get to better understand what's your passion, what's the right way to get involved by coming out to WePower Weekend.
Yes.
You can go to our website. We're always looking for folks who want to be part of early childhood change, part of economic policy change, who want to take their business to the next level, or be a volunteer or mentor to help businesses.
Beautiful. Lots of stepping stones for people.
Yeah.
And then is there anything you're doing? This is just, a fun question, but is there anything different you're doing this year for WePower Weekend that you didn't do last year?
Well, one, the garden party is legit at a garden, so we're super excited to have a
And
partner.
a great garden.
Yeah,
the
most.
The best.
I heard that it was ranked one of the top 3 gardens in the world.
It's stunning.
What's
Which
the
I
number one?
agree.
What's the number
Yeah,
one?
Love it.
it's the best garden in the world. And so we are super excited to have the Botanical Garden as a formal partner for Friday. And everyone who attends actually gets access to the Chihuly exhibit. So I think that's super unique. You get access to experience a really unique exhibition, but also party, drink, dance. And then on Saturday, it's new that we're offering business coaching and financial advising. So when we say community wealth building, we really want to provide opportunities for community to do that. And then Sunday, first time offering mimosas. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if we should mix mimosas with yoga, but I think it'll turn out
I
good.
love that
course.
idea.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Of course. So I know that it takes a lot of partners to do this. I know that the big events presented by Wells Fargo and then Rio Vista. So
Foundation.
if you want to shout out maybe, some of your partners, anybody like that, or also some people on your board that have helped too. If
Yeah.
anybody you want to do mention your team and stuff
For
like
sure.
that.
Well, I'll start with the partners for each day. So super grateful for Missouri Botanical Garden for being our partner for the garden party. Super grateful for Frizzy by Nature. They are the creators of Frizz Fest. They're our partners for Saturday. And also we have tons of other partners for Saturday as well. And then super grateful to the collective STL for facilitating yoga and creating a vibe on Sunday. And also we have so many amazing sponsors. So we're super grateful for our presenting sponsors, Wells Fargo, Rio Vista Foundation, and tons of other sponsors, including but not limited to Regional Arts Commission.
Commission, come on.
They're one of our largest sponsors.
Yeah.
We have Block, formerly Square.
Yeah.
We have Commerce Bank. We have Kwame Charitable Foundation, and the list of sponsors is growing. And we have also an amazing board. Although he's very modest, super grateful for our board chair, Rui Yawitz, who is a really cool serial entrepreneur for just being a partner in crime and making WePower possible. We have other amazing folks on the board, like I still call her Dean McKay. She was a former dean of the Brown School of Social Work, and tons of other folks, Erica Henderson, Abdullah, and just really amazing folks who I consider mentors and advisors.
That's
and
amazing.
the other thing I'll share is our other partner for Saturday is Hyde Park Neighborhood Association, and the leader of Hyde Park is Fatima Muhammad, who also has apiary at the park, and so it's a co-working space that also hosts the I'm blanking.
She does the farmers market.
The farmers market. Fatima hosts a farmers market,
Yeah.
and she's one of the inaugural members of WePower's entrepreneurship program. So she went through that, and we're super grateful to consider her part of the WePower community.
That's amazing.
Great team behind you.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So #WeOutside. Tell us just a little bit about the work that you guys are planning for in the future, because it doesn't stop at this event. This is going to happen every year, but there's going to be more. So I know this is a tough question, but give us some outlook on what you guys are planning to do over the next few years.
For sure. So I'll start with the Imagine If hashtag. We are really big on visions and dreaming and doing that in community. So hearing from thousands of people, what's your vision? What's your imagination of a better St. Louis? So the Imagine If hashtag comes from the idea of imagine if we truly invested more in Black and brown businesses. Imagine if we came together and worked collaboratively to improve early childhood. Imagine if every neighborhood had the resources to thrive. And so this Imagine If hashtag right now is especially focused on imagining more neighborhoods like the ones in North St. Louis having more resources and more community members having economic power and say in how dollars and development happens in their neighborhood. So we're calling on folks to get involved in our effort to improve and achieve economic policy change by first starting to imagine if we can make all of our neighborhoods better. So that's one effort. And then our other effort is around early childhood education. So we have a bold, unflinching goal to win $100 million for the childcare system, and not just a one-time $100 million, but $100 million that is recurring every year forever. And so we are calling on anyone who believes in babies, which hopefully we all do, anyone who believes in babies, anyone who believes that babies should have the proper care and resources to join us in getting more voters and getting more people to turn out to help us win that $100 million next year. And then the last part is we're always inviting entrepreneurs to get involved and mentors and supporters to help our entrepreneurs create thriving businesses.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank
You
you.
will get that. You will
Yes.
get
You
all
are
that.
doing the work, and you have a great team behind you, and you've got a lot of
Absolutely.
people like us who believe in what you're doing.
Thank you.
So it's a pleasure for us to have you on, and so many other people who are just doing things for the people, for the greater good of St. Louis.
Yeah.
So thank you for what
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Thank you.
So it is the STL Bucket List show. The STL Bucket List, hashtag STL Bucket List, means something different to everybody. Everybody has a different bucket list. And the bucket list isn't like things I want to do before I whatever. Our idea of a bucket list is things that we love to do in St. Louis, like going to the botanical garden, stuff like that. So if somebody's coming in town to come and see you, where are you going? Where are the places you're going to eat at? Do you have a bucket list that you can share with our guests? Because people have been asking.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what is Charli? Where does she like to eat at? Where does she like to,
If you're
so
gonna celebrate a successful WePower weekend,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Well, one, I'm going to WePower Weekend.
yeah, that's a bucket list
If you're
event.
not from St. Louis, you should, to truly experience both the reality of St. Louis, but the potential of who we can become. I really think that it's a special weekend for folks to get a feel for our region. And I really love food.
Let's
So
get into the food.
love Indo, love Adara,
Oh, yeah.
love Katie's Pizza. We just had a team lunch there today.
Nice.
And I love music too. So love Sophie's on a Friday night. Hop Shop. Hop Shop is actually a graduate of the WePower Entrepreneurship Program.
Really? That's awesome.
And just an amazing vibe. And love Life Jazz. So the Dark Room, Jazz St. Louis. But anywhere I can eat good food, anywhere you can hear good music, anywhere you can be around a dope DJ playing good vibes is on my bucket list.
Those are some good spots.
Beautiful.
Those are some underrated spots. Like Sophie's,
are
the
a lot
DJ
of-
battles at Sophie's. Indo obviously is unbelievable.
We love Adira.
Yeah, Adira. The patio is probably one of the coolest places.
You
in
don't
the
feel like
city.
you're in St. Louis.
Yeah,
at
you
all.
don't.
You feel like you're like on a vacation.
And it's so delicious.
Yeah.
Every time.
Now their
Every
pizzas
time.
are good. Yeah,
Every
they're
time.
good. Katie's. Which one did you go to today?
I went to the one at Ballpark Village for the first time.
Nice. That's
Oh.
cool. Yeah.
And they
We
serve
haven't gotten in
brunch
there
every
yet.
day.
I know, it's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know
There's
that.
not many places you can get brunch on a Monday.
No, it's really hard.
I wish I
Or
knew
Tuesday.
that.
It's Tuesday.
I just found
Even
That
out.
would have been
Tuesday,
a
too.
great like post yoga spot to go.
I know. Should have
it's
known. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to read some links so that you guys can
Okay.
tap in. So these are the links, guys, follow on Instagram at WePower_STL. And then your website is WePowerSTL.org.
Yep.
Okay. And then any other things you want to leave the guests with?
No, just being part of WePower Weekend means that you get tons of cool experiences that hopefully are unforgettable. But not only, like you all were saying, it's not just about that weekend, but it's about that weekend being a launch pad for you joining a community to really work with others to transform St. Louis, starting with education and economic change.
You're going to make so much impact. Guys, thank you
We.
for tuning. We are going to make so much impact. Guys, tap in, hashtag imagine if you listened to the full episode and got all that information.
Oh.
So
That was good.
Okay. We're on it with the words
Yeah, imagine
today.
if you're still listening.
yeah, imagine if you're listening. If you guys are still listening, go ahead and buy your ticket. WePower Weekend is 10 days from now since this episode drops. So go buy your ticket, guys. But regardless, share on social media, support. If you can't come to that weekend, find ways to get involved with the organization. And Charli, thank you so much for making
Yeah,
time to
thank you
talk
all.
to us.
You were great.
Thank you.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
This episode specifically is presented by the Wine and Cheese Place, which has been locally owned and operated since 1982. The Wine and Cheese Place has 5 different St. Louis area locations in Town and Country, Creve Coeur, Kirkwood, Clayton, and their newest location, Spirit Wine and Craft in South City. The Wine and Cheese Place and Spirit and Craft carry 5,000 plus wines, 1,200 beers, 1,000 whiskeys, hundreds of cheeses, and plus a great selection of specialty food and gifts. They support local whenever possible too. If you go into their sections, they always have a Made in STL section. Plus, their staff is educated and they know just about everything you need to know about spirits, wine, and even cheese. So stop into one of their 5 St. Louis area locations, or you can go directly to their website and order online at thewineandcheeseplace.com.
Today they rep St. Louis, yeah. They rep St. Louis. They rep St. Louis.